so Bay, before we get into our music list, I wanted to talk to you about something. I brought this up in the chat, and it was egg noodle. Okay, so you're a fan, right? I think we both have the same thing going on here. Our people use egg noodles for, like, some bomb-ass chicken noodle soup.
Yes.
Okay, but I had this idea this week that nobody said that, like, spaghetti and meatballs has to be made with spaghetti, right? Like, we could have meatballs and sauce and egg noodles, right? Or we could mix, like, Alfredo sauce and chicken in with the egg noodles. Like, I could use them in place of basically any noodle. And I have been, and it's been an amazing experience. Just like meat, like a meat sauce, you know, as you would say, some gravy, you know what I mean, and any sort of meat. Like, I think it works so much better with the egg noodles because it's like they're flatter and they absorb the flavor. And dude, I've been just loving it lately.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down with some egg noodles. All right.
Hell yeah, dude. And you can get the ones with, like, no cholesterol, and you can get wheat ones and veggie ones. Like, there's a nice little world out there that I guess I just sort of forgot about them for a long time.
Yeah, you know, honestly, like, I kind of forget about a lot myself. It's one of them things, like, unless I'm, like, purposely looking for them, like, I totally forget about them.
Well, I think, too, I'm the only one in the house that eats them with chicken noodle soup. The rest of them use, like, acini de pepe. Is that what it's called? The little balls or whatever?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they usually do that, but I don't like that. That's but yeah, man, I just wanted to share that because, like, I don't know, it changes it. You know what I mean? Like, they did Alfredo, and then they did, like, they had this sauteed spinach that Kate, like, cut up real good and mixed it in with the Alfredo and stuff, and it worked in a way with it. Like, you know, spaghetti can sometimes be kind of a pain in the ass. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But this was just, it made it so much easier, man. I was just amazed. And I was just thinking of the possibilities, like a lasagna casserole using egg noodles instead of lasagna, with all the same ingredients, you know what I mean? Like, that might be dope.
Mm.
But yeah, that was really it.
You know what sucks?
Honestly, I thought you'd be more excited.
Well, I was just going to say, you know what sucks, and it's really fucking irking me. About 10 minutes ago, my screen went to shit. And if I restart it, then we won't be able to fucking play the music.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm, like, looking at a screen that's just fucking complete squiggles.
Pain in the ass. Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened when I crapped out. Like, I was talking, and then I stopped, and then I couldn't hear anybody else. And then so I disconnected. And when I came back, everything was fine again. Yeah.
Yeah, we heard you fine.
I see. I wasn't even sure you guys heard me at all.
So you wanted
now,
to?
Let me ask you: is it too late for me to log into the studio for you, or does that not matter?
I mean, if I reboot my computer, I wouldn't be able to play the music. That's the thing.
You won't be able to play. Right? Okay. I got you.
So I mean, I'm just gonna grin and bear it, and do what we got to do.
I got you.
So, all right. So our countdown: top 5 songs, 1993. Your number 5. I'm gonna let you go first. Did you want the unplugged version or the regular version?
Cool. You know what? Thank you for asking that. The unplugged version, please.
Okay.
Hello, Fresh.
Hello, Fresh.
So this is the first time that we've done this. Like, we just randomly picked a year, but I think it's going to be fun.
Oh, totally.
All right. So my number 5 is from for those of you that remember, there was this awesome show on MTV called Unplugged, and you got to see a lot of cool artists kind of stripped down and bare minimum. And for me, one of my favorites was the Nirvana one, and All Apologies came out that year.
Boom.
It's my schedule. It fits my budget.
And
it fits my
HelloFresh,
life.
brought to you by.
Fun, delicious. The ingredients pre-portioned out. When you're done, you have like a masterpiece.
Go to HelloFresh.com and use code YTH30 to save $30 off your first box. HelloFresh. Get cooking.
HelloFresh fits my schedule.
Should I be all apologies? What else should I say? Everyone is gay. What else should I write? I don't have the right. What else should I be? All apologies. In the sun, I feel it's one. In the sun, Mary, I wish I was like you. Easily amused, someone else's all. Everything is my fault. I was not to blame. I could see from shame something to breathe the burn. Talking on the ashes of a enemy. In the sun, I feel it's warm. In the sun, Mary, 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 Mary,
I mean, to me, this is like the epitome of like that musical era. It was like the ultimate band about not selling out in a way because it had to get onto MTV like that. You know what I mean? And it was just like Kurt Cobain always to me was one of those like mythical musical creatures that like they burned so bright that you knew they couldn't last that long. Does that make any sense?
Oh, totally. And I'll tell you what, like I remember watching that Unplugged as well as the Alice in Chains Unplugged. And
I love that one.
Yeah, literally, dude, sitting on the edge of my couch watching them, saying to myself, this is musical history right here. Like, these are moments that people will never forget because they were just so amazing.
And again, this is like, we talked about this, and these guys don't know because they weren't there, but when we were talking about my introduction to heavy metal, again, for me anyway, to be a teenager in the time that sort of grunge movement was given birth to, once again, it was like listening to something for the very first time that you had never heard of before. You know what I mean? Right. Like it was a completely different genre of music. You know what I mean? It was very like perfectly imperfect.
Totally. You know what too? I was just reading today actually, an interview with Dave Grohl, and he said still to this day he cannot go back and listen to those Nirvana albums. He's like, it's still too emotional for him.
And isn't it amazing? Like Nirvana gave us Dave Grohl. Like Dave Grohl is bigger than Nirvana. You know what I mean? Like
oh, totally.
it's amazing. Like, that's a testament to the talent that was in the group.
And that dude, like, completely rebuilt himself from being a drummer to a guitar player and singer, songwriter, everything.
To, like, rock god.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, I would have no problem putting him up with the ranks of, like, you know, Steven Tyler and Gene Simmons and Ozzy. And, like, he's, of his genre of music, I think he's it right now. You know what I mean? Like, nobody has a truer talent. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. You know,
That's awesome.
So my number 5, you might be a little caught off guard by this one because you know, usually it's a hard rock or metal thing, and this is not. So let's throw everybody for a loop here. From 1993.
But if you go online while the boys are online, the internet can
Video
slow
play
down.
after ad.
No.
It's 100% fiber optic network with ridiculous speed.
Talk later. The 100% fiber optic network means more speed for more devices at once. So get Fios today.
If only we got a little bit of money for these commercials.
I'm gone. Clean up your room.
Little Snoop Dogg and Gin and Juice.
Oh, yeah.
I remember when this came out, it was such a game changer. And, I mean, this was just one of them songs. And this whole album, it didn't matter who you were, you just fell in love with Snoop Dogg and the music.
Kick a little something for the G and make a few hits as I breathe through.
And what do you think Snoop Dogg does? Does he vape? Does he bong? Does he use edibles?
I bet you all of the above.
At the same time.
I got a pocket full of rubbers and my homeboys do too. So turn off the lights and close the door. But for what? We don't love them now. Yeah. So we gon' blow out to this. G's up, freeze up for a second now. Bounce to this. Rolling down the street, smoking, sipping on gin and juice. Laid back. With my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Rolling down the street, smoking, sipping on gin and juice. Laid back. With my mind on my money and my money on my mind. I got me some secret gin. Everybody got their cups, but they ain't chipped in. Now these types of things happen all the time. You gotta get yours, but fool, I gotta get mine. See, everything is fine when you listen to the D.O.G. I got to cultivate the music that be captivating me. Who listen to the words that I speak as I take me a drink to the middle of the street and get the Mac into this trick named Sadie. She used to be my homeboy's lady. 80 degrees when I tell that trick, please raise up off these NUCs, cause you get none of these. That easy. As I mob with the dog pound, feel the breeze. Say you know I'm just rolling down the street, smoking, sipping on gin and juice.
Laid back.
With my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
Hey.
Oh, dude, I loved it. Just like grunge, it was a cultural revolution. It was a brand new music. You know what I mean? And they emerged kind of at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. It really was. Good stuff.
Such a chill song.
So, all right, so number 4, you're up.
So we should have played this one when the Marijuana Mommy was on the show. But my number 4 is Insane in the Membrane by Cypress Hill.
Such a good song.
Don't you know I'm loco?
As soon as you hear it, dude, you're like, yes.
Yep.
The one on the flamboyant temper, just toss that ham in the frying pan like that. It's done when I come and slam. Damn, I feel like the sun is sand. all over when I go out drinking. Oh, making my mind flow. That's why I don't with the big for oh, bro. I got to maintain. Cause it's like me is going insane. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the membrane. Too much undercover, now it's time for the blubber. Blabber, to watch that belly get fatter. Fat boy on a diet. Don't try it. Attack your ass like a looter in a riot. Much fat like a sumo, slamming that ass, leaving your face in the grass. You know, I don't take a Zulo lightly. Don't just tell it cause it can't outright kill. Kick that foul, wicked, wow. Happy face, you never see me smile. Rip that mainframe, I'll explain. A nigga like me is going insane. Insane in the membrane.
Insane in the brain.
To me, this is one of them songs where, like, you have to move when it's on. You know what I mean?
Insane in the membrane.
What was that?
I was just saying, to me, this is one of them songs where, like, when it's on, you have to move. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
like
yeah.
I'm not the most confident dancer, but when I'm alone and this song's on, you know what I mean? I'm Usher.
Oh shit! Quote of the fucking year.
They were pumping this in '93. You know what I mean?
Oh
like,
yeah.
8th grade dance, butts in the air. Like, I remember it all, dude.
Well, my number 4 kind of goes with your number 5.
Dude. Dove Men Plus Care Foaming
Which
Body
is
Wash.
crazy because my 3 goes with your number 4.
Well, did I tell you what mine was?
Hydrate.
No.
New Dove Men Plus Care Foaming Body Wash.
Okay. So, yeah, with the whole Nirvana Unplugged, and I mentioned the Alice in Chains Unplugged, just from the Alice in Chains Unplugged, and this song was it. Like, this was the one that I remember it was like, holy shit. It just sucked me in, and every time I hear this song to this day, it's one of the greatest songs ever written, performed, and it's truly, the electric version is amazing, but this one was just beyond stellar, and it's Alice in Chains, Down in a Hole.
Oh, you don't understand who they thought I was supposed to
When I watch that and hear that, I get angry because that idiot and fucking drugs. It just it angers me. And no offense to the dude that's their lead singer now, because he does an amazing job, but yeah, you know what I mean? Just him and fucking Cobain and Scott Weiland and fucking Chris Cornell and Andrew Wood. All these fucking guys, just the anger I feel towards them because of the fucking drugs.
It could have been any of the songs on that album. Like, honestly, like you go back and Rooster, Heaven Beside You, you know what I mean? Angry Chair. Like, it could have been any single one of them. Could have been one that you picked and would have been rightfully on the. It was amazing.
That song Wood from day one. It just. I have such chills right now talking about that album. Amazing. Which actually, what's his name's brother is going to come back on in July. Andrew Wood's brother Kevin. I haven't talked to that dude in a few years, and I taped that interview 2 weeks ago with Brad Sinsel from TKO. And as I was going through and looking up stuff about him, you know, because we hadn't talked to him in a few years. Here he's done work with like Mike McCready from Pearl Jam, and I was reading, and Mike McCready like released a bunch of TKO music over the last couple of years because he was like a huge fan of TKO, and like Brad Sinsel like is a legend to him and like an idol and all this stuff. And I was talking to Brad about you know, Mother Love Bone and Andrew Wood and all that, and it made me think of Kevin Wood. So I shot Kevin a text. I'm like, dude, you know, what's going on? How you been? It's been a few years. Hope all's okay. I just was taping an interview with Brad Sinsel. We were talking about Seattle and your brother and all. It made me think of you. And he, typical Kevin, it usually takes him a couple of days to answer. And like 2-3 days later, he sends me a message. Dude, what's going on? How you been? He's like, we're doing a show in July. You know, hope all is well. And I'm like, dude, well, you know, let's get you back on and talk and catch up. It's been a few years. So, yeah. So that would be cool.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Damn. But yeah. Sorry, to number 3 for you.
All right, so my number 3 kind of goes along with yours that was in the same genre. To me, this is like this was it. This was the first child of the gangster rap movement. Like, I'm sure there were songs before it, but this was the first bona fide number 1 crossover smash hit. It made the world of R&B and hip hop and rap for the next 20 years, right? I mean, there isn't really enough that I can say about the significance of this album and you know, the guy who put it together and performed, but this is really the birth of gangster rap, and that was nothing but a G thing.
Iconic.
Even the video is gangster.
That little whistle in the background.
1, 2, bring it to the folk. Snoop Doggy Dogg is Dr. Dre is in the dough. Ready to make an entrance, so back on up. Cause you know about to rip shit up. Give me the microphone first so I can bust like a bubble. Compton and Long Beach together, now you know you in trouble. Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. Too low death niggas, so we crazy. Death Row is the label that pays me. Unfadable, so please don't try to fake it. But back to the lecture at hand. Perfection is perfected, so I'ma let them understand from a young G perspective. And before me dig on a bitch, I have to find a contraceptive. You never know, she could be earning her, man, and learning her, man. And at the same time, burning her, man. Now you know I ain't with that shit, Lieutenant. Ain't no pussy good enough to get burned while I'm offended. And that's realer than real deal, Holyfield. And now you hookers and hoes know how I feel. Well, if it's good enough to get broke off a proper junk, I take a small piece of some of that funky stuff. It's like this and like that and like this and it's like that and like this and like that and it's like this and like that and like this and Drake creep to the mic like a fan.
Well, I'm peeping and I'm creeping and I'm creeping, but I damn near got caught cause my beeper kept beeping. Now it's time for me to make my impression felt. So sit back, relax, and strap on your seatbelt. You've never been on a ride like this before. With a producer who can rap and control the maestro. At the same time with the dope rhyme that I kick. You know and I know I flow the most funky shit. to add to my collection. This selection symbolizes dope. Take a toast, but don't choke. If you do, you have no clue of what me and my homie Snoop Dogg came to do. It's like this and like that, like this and it's like that, like this and like that and it's like this. Then who gives a fuck about those?
So just chill to the next episode. Falling back on that ass, what a hellified gangster lean. Getting funky on the mic like an old batch of collard greens. It's the capital S-O-S oppression, double O-P, D-O-double-G-Y-D-O-double-G, you see. Showing much flex when it's time to wreck a mic. Pimping, hoes, and clocking a grip like my name was Dolomite. Yeah, and it don't quit. I think they in the mood for some motherfucking G. Hell yeah. So, right.
What up, dog?
Gotta give them what they want.
What's that, G?
We gotta break them off something. Hell yeah. And it's gotta be bumping.
City up Compton. Where it takes place, so an actual attention. Mobbing like a motherfucker, but I ain't lynching. Dropping the funky shit that's making the sucker niggas mumble. When I'm on the mic, it's like a cookie, they all crumble. Try to get close, then your ass will get smacked. My motherfucking homie, Doggy Dog, has got my back. Never let me slip, cause if I slip, then I'm slipping. But if I got my Nina, then you know I'm straight tripping. And I'ma continue to put the rap down, put the max down. And if your bitches talk shit, I have to put the smack down. Yeah, and you don't stop. I told you I'm just like a clock when I tick and I sock. But I'm never off, always on till the break is on. See you when PTO win and the city they call beach. Putting the shit together like my nigga D.O.C. No one can do it better like this, that, and this, and it's like that, and like this, and like that, and it's like this.
So just chill.
This song had like ghetto Easter egg.
What was that?
You know what I mean? Like he mentioned Dolomite. Like there were all these little like Easter eggs that only people from like Compton and LA and stuff were like, that's true. You know what I mean? Like I've been there. Yeah. Like to me, it was like opening up a whole nother section of the world that was like scary as hell, but also seemed really cool. Like to this day. Yeah. Because of that video, I've always wanted to go to like a family barbecue in a park, like me and Tone.
I'm so bad. that last video that he was involved with a friend of his, I was like, dude, I want to come out there and hang with you and your peeps and be part of a video shoot and a barbecue. And, you know, I'll have a cheeseburger without cheese because Tone can't have cheese. But, you know what I mean? Like, just that dude.
Absolutely.
You like hanging with that dude. Like my facial reaction would not be able to stop smiling. I would look like Jerome constantly.
I think that, you know, when people don't really understand the significance of like that kind of music when it first came out. Like, not to be offensive to anybody, but for a while there, rapping was almost like smart black guys. You know what I mean? Like, it was how they could make words rhyme, and it was fast, and it was kind of silly, and all of a sudden these guys are dropping F-bombs and talking about smacking bitches and smoking weed and shooting each other, and you're like, holy hell. Like, at the time, I remember, like, I was like, that can't even really be real, right? Like,
right. Oh,
it was just amazing. It opened up an entirely new culture to the world.
Yeah, it has.
There's people in Korea that are dressing like Dr. Dre right now. Never once seen a ghetto in their life. You know what I mean? Like,
I think Kim Jong-un thinks he's Dr. Dre.
Oh man, like even for people that aren't fans of like the genre, like it's the significance of it should never go unnoticed. You know what I mean? Like, and the fact that it rose with grunge, like, and they didn't consume each other, it was also sort of amazing because it almost never happens like that. You know what I mean? Like,
and
one
that
genre
era
usually ends up dying.
Right. That I mean, that genre, you know, it's 20-something years later, plus years later, and is like, it's the rock and roll of today. I mean, you know, it's a huge thing.
Dr. Dre is a billionaire now. You know what I mean? Like, amazing. And a music icon of his own right. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's pretty crazy.
So my number 3 is going to be another little throw off for everybody. This is a band that was huge in the 80s.
Okay.
They were known as the Fab Five in the 80s, and they're not hard rock, they're not metal. They were like more of a pop band in the 80s, but they really over time, like it's a band like that I grew to love and really enjoy. And when they like kind of went away for a while, and then they came back with this album. And this was one of the songs. They had two singles off of this, and both are equally as good. And I ended up going with this one. And the band is Duran Duran, Come Undone. It was just a real like deep, trippy sounding song. It was like another side of Duran Duran.
Immaculate dream, made red basket, waiting for your side with a home tattoo. Happy birthday to you, created for you. It'll take a little time, might take a little pride to come undone. Now we'll try to stay blind to the hope from being outside. Hey child, stay wilder than the wind and blow me into fire. Who do you need? Who do you love when you come undone? Who do you need? Who do you love when you come undone?
I can't tell you how big of a smile I have on my face right now. Like
From that song?
That was such a great memory. Like I hadn't even thought of that song in so long. Like that's amazing. I will say this though. Here's my problem. I understand why you picked that one, but the other one is an amazing song too. Ordinary World. Oh my God. Like,
yeah.
But you're right. That one particularly is so different and so just like that put a smile on my face.
Yeah, them two songs. I mean, were just amazing, and yeah, they really truly helped my love of Duran Duran grow.
Oh man, they don't make music like that anymore.
You know what? They don't make music like this anymore. You're number 2.
You know what? You're right. They don't. So, okay, my number 2, it was weird because, like I said yesterday, there was a point and I think in a lot of kids' lives where the music that you listen to is dictated by the people around you. You don't really have a say in what you listen to. But as I started coming into my own, in my school there was like this whole thing where people were passing around this tape, and it was like there were stories that it was a bootleg, that so-and-so recorded it while it was live. Like, nobody really knew where it was coming from. And then, like, the music video popped up on MTV, and it was like, it was amazing. I imagine it GWAR was like when GWAR first came out. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it was just it's so sort of novelty, and it speaks of the time, and it's Green Jelly, the Three Little Pigs.
Thank all of you.
Brought to you by Budweiser.
Why don't you stay right back? And I may tell you a tale of three little pigs and a big bad wolf. Well, the first little piggy, well, he was kind of picky, spent most of his days just dreaming of the city. And then one day, he bought a guitar. He moved to Hollywood to become a star. So living on the farm, he knew nothing of the city. Built his house out of straw, what a pity. Then one day, jamming on some chords, along came the wolf, knocking on his door. Little pig, let me in. Big, let me in. Well, I'm pumping, I'll blow your house in. Pumping, blow your house in. Pumping, blow your house in. Pumping it up, blow your house in. Well, the second little piggy, well, he was kind of joking, spent most of his days just a gun, just smoking, hopping in a popping down on Venice Beach, getting paid money for religious speech. Built his shelter from when he garbage picked, mostly made up of old cans and sticks. And one day he was cranking up a Marley. Along came the wolf on his big fat Harley. Little pig, let me in. Little pig, let me in. Well, I'm pumping, I'll blow your house in. Pumping, blow your house in. Pumping, blow your house in. Pumping it up, blow your house in.
Oh boy, dude! I don't think I watched that video in 1993. Oh my god.
Dude, I was like, I don't know, somewhere between like 10 and 12 years old, and I was just like, this is the definition of badass. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this was the opposite of Prince. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what's funny is they're actually playing. I was telling you this when you sent me the list a few weeks ago. They're playing in Delaware at the bar I did a couple shows at. They're playing down there in a few weeks coming up.
I think they ended up having like 3 hits. Like, that's not bad.
Green Jelly. Wow.
Now,
All right,
see,
so,
as I remember it, though, when I was Jello and then changed to Jelly when they got on MTV because of, I guess, you know, copyright or whatever.
Right.
But that was like the myth, you know what I mean?
Funny times. So as I'm looking at my list, I just realized I went backwards. So my number 4 was actually supposed to be my number 2. I thought something was off because I was looking at the way like you did yours like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I did mine 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I was following your count system on mine.
Oh, that's right.
So this is actually my number 4, but I'm going to keep my number 2 for now. And it's a song I remember was just enormously huge. It broke this band. They were starting to break, but this is the song that really made them become superstars, you know, to that whole new level. And the band is not Starbucks, but Smashing Pumpkins, and the song is Disarmed.
Oh.
The killer in me is the killer in you. That was the line of the song that made that whole song.
When there were people that would say that grunge was just like untuned guitars and whining and complaining, like this was the song that you let them listen to. Like this is a beautiful song.
Yeah, absolutely. I just remember that song so vividly. At the time, I was working at this little like luncheonette place called the Magic Bite, and actually, I was delivering. My best friend Anthony and his younger brother Greg were cooking. Anthony was cook. Greg was on the like sandwich side, the like hoagies and stuff like that. And my niece Danielle, she was a waitress there. So we all worked together, and that song I just remember like was on constant rotation on the radio stations, and I was just always it was just always on.
And honestly, if you think back, like overall, they may have had better albums, but I think that song in pinnacle of their talent, like that is their best, hands down. You know what I mean? Like they have a lot of albums that I love. They have a lot of songs that I love, but that song in particular has transcended.
Absolutely. All right, number one time for Nick. And it sucks people will have to listen to the replay to get to the number ones.
Okay, so I picked this because, again, it was like these guys are the forefathers of the genre, you know what I mean? And this music video came out 6 years before Columbine. So it sort of almost tells you where that sort of counterculture mindset was at the time, looking back at the music video and listening to the lyrics and how sort of raw and it's actually the music I think is very social. You know what I mean? As antisocial as it is, it's very much about, you know, what was wrong at the time.
Absolutely.
And the news media was a lot more.
It is very relevant in America today.
At home and showing pictures of mountaintops with him on top, lemon yellow sun, arms raised in his feet, the dead lay in pools of maroon below. Daddy didn't give attention, to the fact that mommy didn't care. King shall be the wicked. Oh, these words will only spoken. Clearly I remember picking on the boy, seemed a harmless little fool. Ooh, but we unleashed the lion, gnashed his teeth and bit the recessed lady's breast. How can I forget? And he hit me with a surprise laugh. My jaw left hurting, ooh, twice wide open, just like the day. Oh, like the day I heard. Not easy to give affection. And the boy was something that mommy wouldn't wear. King shall be the wicked. Oh, these words shall be spoken.
That's such a good song. It really is.
It really is, man. And it's just, man, I don't even know. It's just, there are certain songs that just bring me to a place. You know what I mean? And that happens to be one of them. Like, I'll tell you a quick funny story is that in about the 8th grade, we had to draw a comic strip for art class. So I drew mine on the Jeremy music video. That's, long story short, it ended up with me in the guidance counselor's office trying to find out if I was suicidal. And this dude is like, hey, dude, I used to listen to Blue Oyster Cult back in the day. It's okay. You can talk to me. And I was just like, dude, like, honestly, it's just because it's an awesome video. Like, you know what I mean? You don't have to read into it.
Yeah, and that, you know, that was their song. That was the song that put them over the top. That was like their Sweet Child of Mine.
Absolutely.
Wow. So all right, so my number one, it might be kind of cliche or whatever, but you already touched on them in your number 5 spot. They were the band of 1993. 1990. They broke in 92, and then 93 they came back with the new album, In Utero, and the party was over by April of 94. But this song was the first single of In Utero, and it just from day one to now, 34 years or 24 years later, it hasn't grown old with me, and I've just felt like there was so much intensity from Kurt Cobain in this song, so much passion, anger. This song was just it just summed grunge up in a whole, and it's a heart-shaped box.
What makes new Teavana Craft Iced Tea different? Imagination. The finest tea.
And Kurt Cobain is rolling in his grave because Teavana is a freaking sponsor right now.
Teavana. Available everywhere.
It's just so dark. The video is just, it's dark but beautiful at the same time.
Their music to me was always sort of like a lullaby.
Yeah.
I've been drawn into your magnet trap. I wish I could eat your cancer when you turn back. Hey, wait, I gotta lose your love forever. Yes, to your private life. Hey, wait, I gotta lose your love forever. Yes, to your private life. Hey, wait, I gotta lose your love forever. Yes, to your private life. Forgive no one just yet. Put myself on angel hair and baby breath. Broken diamond of your highness, I'm left back. Throw down your bed so I can climb right back. Hey, wait, I gotta lose your breath forever. Yes, to your private life. Hey, wait, I gotta lose your breath forever. Yes, to your private life. Hey, wait, I gotta lose your breath forever, yes, to your private life.
That's another one. Like I'm staring at this video now, and these close-ups of Kurt Cobain, like I have like so much mixed emotions, and like I just look at his face, and I'm just like, why, dude? Like, what the fuck? What were you thinking? Like, and then I think, what does his daughter think? You know what I mean? Like, that's my dad. Like, why the fuck did he do that? And then I think from like we were talking about with Dave Grohl and then Chris Novoselic, like them guys, like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, just the whole what the fuck.
No, absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, you're talking about guys too that like lost their best friend in the world. You know what I mean? Like, I just and that whole, like, if you, like you said, look back, that whole, all of the giants of that industry were seriously fucked up, like, and their lives ended tragically.
Yeah. It's crazy. Fucking crazy.
It was, that's what it was to me, man. Like, grunge is like the epitome of, like, better to burn out than to fade away. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Mixed emotions is right, because, like, you can get so sad thinking about the potential that was lost. You know what I mean? And everything like that. Like,
yeah, and it's not like. Yeah, it's not like it was a Randy Rhoads situation where it was like a plane crash. You know what I mean? It was like
right. No, I mean, I remember exactly how I was and where I was and how I felt when I found out that Kurt Cobain killed himself. To be a teenager at that time and to connect with the music that was like saying everything that you didn't know you wanted to say, it was devastating. It was heart-wrenching. You know what I mean? Like, you felt like you lost your best friend, the only other person in the world that got you. You know what I mean?
Dude, I remember being glued to MTV for like, they had 24-hour coverage going, and you just like
Kurt Loder.
Yeah. It's Tabitha Storm and Kurt Loder, and you just couldn't, like, I just kept remembering, like, this can't be real. Is this, like, really fucking happening? Like, I kept waiting for him to say, like, no, it's okay, he's alive.
It was devastating too. You know what I mean? The teenager in me, like, and like it never stopped. You know what I mean? Like, so many of the bands, Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we haven't even gotten into Soundgarden. There's so much more to explore and be sad about. Like.
Right.
Oh man. That's amazing, dude. I think about what we just went through. For that 1 year, we went from, like, the synth of Duran Duran to gangster rap to, you know what I mean, the birth of grunge. Like, there was a lot going on in 1993.
Yeah. Wow.
Ugh.
Still makes me angry. And Nirvana, like, again, like, as I'm watching that video, like, Nirvana made where music had gotten so, corporatized by the success of the hair band era, and just so, like, everything had to be so perfect and just, like just cookie cutter, and just everything had to be so synchronized and this and that. Nirvana came along and just made it, like, just so loose and fun and just not give a fuck, and the way rock and roll was supposed to be, just fucking don't tune your guitars, just fucking play it sloppy, fucking throw it, smash it, do what the fuck you want. And yeah
it was but these guys, man, they managed to pull it together. As sloppy as it was, like, think about how beautiful some of those last songs were. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And there's so many more that we could, you know what I mean? Like, we could endlessly name, similar songs in the genre that are just, they work for all the reasons they shouldn't.
I know. We could sit here all night and just fucking, yeah. Another one, like, they all do. Like, I hear the music today, like, every day when I'm, like, in a car and I just, like, shake my head. It's just, Weiland's another one. Like, that dude fucking had 9 lives with that shit. He played with that shit for years, and I feel bad for the Stone Temple Pilots guys, because they just put out a new album. They got this new lead singer, and you hear him and you think it's fucking Scott Weiland, but
Wow, really?
Yeah, he sounds just like him, but he just doesn't have. There's just something missing. You know what I mean? It's not Weiland, is what it is. And, I mean, he sounds like him, but it's just not Weiland.
Again, just so much wasted potential.
Yeah, absolutely. So,